What's interesting from the discussion today is I think that there is still a sticky part of the planning system at local level, and that goes down to local members level, and there's still a not in my backyard kind of feel to the planning system. But it appears that everyone's quite positive that the right noises are being made, and if we can keep moving everything in the right direction and keep lobbying for the planning system to become easier to work through, I think we will get somewhere.
I think there's a move towards trying to promote SMEs, trying to promote more house building, trying to provide better house building, hopefully. I think on a regional level, we've had loads of conversations where we think, the ambition is there to create a step change. Again, I think it comes back to resourcing and strong leadership from devolved governments, but also from the local planning authority that make a big difference. I don't think devolution has impacted planning just yet. I think it will in the longer term. Especially in areas where devolution is quite new. So I predominantly work in the Northeast and Yorkshire, and the devolved government is quite new. So I know they're setting up policies and looking at how the local plan and strategic development zones will be impacted. But I don't think it's trickled down to planning at this point in time.
I think as we've probably seen certain standards and certain certificates and badges fall away, and it's more gone to the technologies rather than requiring a specific individual to come and assess for a specific output. It's been easier to drive it by the technology. And by that I mean, rather than having to go and get code level 3, 4, 5 or whatever it used to be, or BREEAM standards, if you put in an air source heat pump, which is the purchase of a commercial product that's widely available for everybody to buy, I think it's allowed the market forces to come in rather than sort of a more esoteric certificate. So prices had gone up, they have come down. So actually I think the kind of technology-driven sustainability standards are the way forward and working.
All the changes in policy are helpful to create sustainability and build greener homes. But I think from a developer's perspective, if the level of requirements changes from month to month, year to year, that's very difficult for them to then keep up with and deliver a sensible cost. I think the cost of delivering these houses has certainly increased. And maybe there's not so much in the terms of reward of selling the houses for a higher profit, but definitely I think the idea of building sustainable houses is a very important one.
Everyone deserves a good, sustainable, well-designed home to live in. There are obstacles, no doubt, and I think most of them come back to viability. I think if you could have a clearer funding strategy or more incentives through green loans or some kind of funding that incentivizes more sustainable homes, it would be a way to lift that barrier and create more sustainable homes for people.
At Paragon Bank, we've obviously got the Green Fund, so we sort of promote and encourage house building to build EPCA. We've got a lot of developers who do achieve that. Equally, we've got some developers who struggle to achieve it and get the value. So I think a lot of that is driven probably by location and sales revenues. So is it achievable? Yes, it is. I think to make it more achievable in certain parts of the country, we've got to probably advance technology to help us get there a little bit quicker and a bit easier. But it is achievable, but it's more difficult in certain areas of the country, I think.
I think the biggest discussion from today is that there is a belief that things can evolve and more houses can be built, but it's still going to take some time. We're at a point where I think it's quite critical. We've talked about housing crisis, or certainly a shortfall in housing. More steps need to be taken to actually make sure that the deliverability is there. At the moment, we've got this gulf between what the central government are saying and what's actually happening at local levels.